bastardized that M1A over and over and over again.
I love it. The bastardation will stop when people stop bitching and moaning about it.
What have you done this time?
ACSS Cyclops from Primary Arms. Look, it looks exactly like the gun from Black Hawk Down. I'm gonna rattle can this thing too. Welcome back to Wiseman Company, everybody. I'm Ben. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the support as well. You guys have been huge in your efforts to support Wiseman Company, buying products off our website, wisemanccompany.com, buying us coffees at Ko-Fi. We appreciate all that support. It allows us to keep making videos, so thank you. Now let's get into the review. I have the Primary Arms Cyclops. The Cyclops is a 1x prism with an etched reticle. Mounting options for this, pretty standard. It does use an aim point footprint for your T1s, T2s, things like that. Hollow Suns share the same footprint. I have it on an absolute coat witness mount right here. You can get a lower mount and you can get a lower 1/3 mount as well. Windage and elevation turrets are capped on this with wire. I like when companies do that because I don't have any chance of losing them then. They're just kind of wired to the optic. I can make adjustments, put the caps back on. It does come with scope caps, which is nice. You can protect your glass as much as possible. I typically just leave them flipped up because that's the way I roll. So what is the Cyclops going to do for you? Well, like I said, it's a 1x prism with an etched reticle. We all love red dots out there, but as we know, red dots were kind of slave to the battery life. If your battery goes out, you're SOL. Etched reticles allow us to still use the optic even when it's not powered on. And this one is illuminated as well. It has 11 settings, so you can really crank up the brightness. But a lot of times with etched reticles, I don't even turn on the illumination. I just like the black reticle. With this, the reticle was really clear, really crisp. You can get it really fine when you have something etched into the glass. One downside to having a 1x prism is eye relief. A lot of times you're not going to get a big window of eye relief. On Trijicon ACOGs, you'll see people running them the whole way to the rear of the receiver, and even then, they kind of have to crowd the optic to try to get the best parallax they possibly can get. With this Cyclops, you're going to get around 4 inches of eye relief. As you can see on this M1A Scout, I have it the whole way to the rear, and this is kind of the cutoff point, as you'll see in the B-roll, of the max eye relief you can get out of this optic. Not a huge deal. We also ran it on a 5.56 gun from Falcor, and it was no issue at all running it on that as far as eye relief goes. You can move it towards the back of the receiver and still have a backup sight behind it. I'm gonna roll in a picture of the reticle in the Cyclops. As you can see, you have your horseshoe, you have your chevron, and then below that you have your way to measure distance. This reticle isn't really busy. It made up close shots really easy and quick. The horseshoe acts just kind of like a big red dot. The horseshoe also can be used for leads on targets. The chevron, I put my zero right at the tip of it in 308, and if you do a 5,200 yard zero, you can kind of see where your bullet drop compensation is going to be on that chevron. Again, the ACS reticle just makes life really, really easy as you increase distance. Running this Cyclops on the M1A was a ton of fun. You don't really get to shoot this, at least I don't, shoot this type of gun up close and fast, and with this optic, it was a breeze. I could make hits at 15 yards and I could make hits at 150 yards, no problem. Did a couple snapshots with it as well, so at the low ready, just pull the optic up as fast as I could on a target at 50 yards. I was right in the 1 to 1.5 seconds on all my snapshots. I was a little slower, it's a heavier gun, but it wasn't the optic's fault for my pace of fire. All right, so that's the Cyclops from Primary Arms. Great optic. You can find these for around 240 bucks. I banged this around, beat it up pretty good. Of course, it's still running. And Primary Arms has a lifetime guarantee, so capitalize on that. If you do bust up any of your Primary Arms optics, this is a great optic for an AR. I threw it on this M1A just to be different and weird, just wanted to mix things up. I actually think I'm gonna keep it on here, it's a ton of fun. If you want to see another Primary Arms optic in particular, please leave a comment below. I know a lot of you have already made those requests already, and I'll try to get to them as best I can. Thank you for all the support. Again, wisemanccompany.com, that's the best way to support us. Hit the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.